So we are continuing the Impala SS build. Now, there's going to be a little bit of the movie magic going on because I have been working on it just on and off, doing a lot of the boring detail work, which is, motor mounts, trans mounts, stuff like that. And all that winds up being is you check it, you mark it, you cut it, you grind it, you weld it, you mark it, and you just keep doing this over and over until you finally get it in there. It wound up being about 2 weeks of just that being boring and everything else. So I'll take you to where I am on the car. Already got the engine out of the Camaro. There will be a video of it upcoming just on how to get it out of the Camaro. It's a long, boring process, basically. But here we go. So the engine is in the car right now. I still have to get the motor mounts secured to the frame. I have something I've been going off from. But yeah, I'll walk you through what I've done here. So, motor mounts are in, trans mounts in, I got a drive shaft made for it. All that's good to go. Wiring is mostly complete at this point. Integrated it from basically the Impala harness to the Camaro harness to get everything going here. The overflow tank slash radiator cap is in. Obviously, it's not in well. It's just kind of dangling there right now. Something I'm going to have to make. Motor mounts are pretty much going to be on my to-do list here in the coming weeks. Just getting them secured in, getting the motor actually where it's going to be. Exhaust, I've got BBK long tube headers on it. Had to do some bending and some bashing on them, but they are there. Wiper motor is in the way of the factory coil mounts, so I'm going to be doing something similar to this, or I'm going to find a way to remote mount them. Some stuff that'll be upcoming on the car. Right now I'm just using the SLP lid off from the Camaro just to get it basically moving. I managed to reuse the factory accessory drive. The engine is up a little bit, but the drive shaft pinion angle's perfect. All that's good. So it's really hard to see, but the headers fit perfect. They're F-body headers. I had to custom modify my power steering lines, which was a pain in the butt. But it's all set up now. This has to be secured down properly. It's still loose. Move on to the interior here, where we are making progress. As you can see, the shifter's in. Center console is loosely mocked up. Oil pressure wise, I screwed up. I was changing the pilot bearing. I used the hydraulic method, which is a no-no on the LS1 cars. And when you use the hydraulic method, basically you put grease or paper towels or something in there and you use it to knock out the pilot bearing. You hammer it in and do that. Well, Chevrolet put one of these in the back of the crankshaft and I knocked it straight through into the oil pan. So I had to pull the oil pan off and everything, and then I thought, hey, while I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and change the oil tube O-ring, the pickup tube O-ring, because it's a known problem. Well, that day it was cold and I could not get the damn thing to go on. I pinched it off. I was trying everything, so I said, screw it, I'm going to reuse the old one. Can't be that bad. It didn't look that bad. I was wrong. So the first time I fired this thing up, I had 0 oil pressure. So I had to pull it back out and redo all that. It was a giant pain in my butt. But we got oil pressure now. All that. So onto the interior. Got our clutch pedal mounted up. I still got to do just some final mock-ups. How I did the slave cylinder is I just took it inside the car, straight over and right out the side with a grommet. Works perfect, goes right in, it was easy to bleed, the whole 9 yards. I'm having a voltage drop issue to the inside that I'm still trying to figure out. So I get the tachometer and the factory coolant gauge hooked up. I was putting a radio in, just basic stuff, screwing around on it. But, so there is a little bit of movie magic going on. A lot of it was wiring. That was just a monster pain in the butt. I had to get a service manual for it and figure out where all the stuff goes. I had to do a lot of tracking and everything else. But again, it's all pretty boring. But That's the voltage drop. But it does start. It's being a little bit cranky on staying started. Factory oil pressure gauge does not work. It's the aftermarket one. And now it's idling on its own. But yeah, progress is being made slowly but surely. I've already taken it on its first drive, and yeah, that's pretty much the thing. I'll be going through exhaust here and getting the motor mounts secured and all that stuff, and I'll film that process as it's going, but that's what's headed on right now. That's the update. Thanks for watching. Alright, so wrapping up today, I got the reservoir mounted up where I want it. I got the ECM mounted pretty much the only place it can go. I was going to mount the reservoir right here, but I couldn't get any type of secure method of mounting it there that I really liked. So I got rid of the AC stuff there, the AC dryer, and I moved this over and I moved the ECM up. Now the challenge is going to be when I do put AC on this thing is getting it where I need it to be. But that ship kind of sailed whenever I put this here, so I'll probably wind up having to either get a short compressor and mount it in the factory location or notch the frame. Haven't really decided yet. I could do either. And then I'll have to figure out where to put the dryer, which will probably wind up mounting up here. But I got the coils permanently mounted in a way that I can deal with. Again, no real place to mount them. Everything's kind of crammed in this side of the engine on this car, even though the engine bay is huge. The only thing I can really do is extend wires and bring it over there, but that is so many wires and I'm not doing it. So I'll throw a Corvette beauty cover over it or something. But they're mounted directly to the valve covers all the way back. It's functional. It'll work for me. This is not going to be a show car. It's more meant to be just something to screw around with and have fun with, which, yeah. That's where I'm at today. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates and getting the motor mounts actually secured to the frame, which I've been procrastinating on because it's such a pain. But we'll be back with that tomorrow. Thanks for watching.